We get a lot of foreigners who aren't on Korean teams yet. They're moving to Korea, staying on foreigner teams, right? Like Naniwa Sase,
Oh
uh,
yeah, that's a good point.
Jinro. You know, all these foreigners are making these partnerships with,
Hmm.
you know, with the foreign teams, or with the, you know, the Koreans and the foreigners, or their teams are making partnerships and whatnot. But I don't know, man.
Yeah, you never know what happened with them. So
Did they switch colors? Okay, they didn't. That's good.
let's go ahead and introduce our players, guys. We are into game one. I believe this is still a best of one, is it? Or is it best of three?
I
I think it's
think
still best
so.
of ones.
I'm gonna ask.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's best of ones. But let's introduce our players. We have FXOLeenock, going to be playing as the red Zerg player in the bottom right position here of Ohana.
Yep.
In the upper left position, we do have mividaLoca, going to be playing
Mm,
as the blue Zerg in the upper left, and another ZVZ man. 3 ZVZs in a row. And
I'm
you know,
okay
as
with
long as
it.
it's Baneling on Baneling, Ling on Ling action, that's kind of fun to cast because there's just so much action going
It's
on.
so difficult to cast that, man.
Yeah, it is.
Like all the lings and banelings running around each other. It's very difficult. Like commentating a child soccer game or something. It would be. I'd imagine that'd be very difficult. But we'll see what happens here. We have one deviation so far. Leenock doing the same exact build he did in the first two series that he won. And mividaLoca here is going for a 15 hatch. So his pool is going to be considerably, or actually his speed I should say, is going to be considerably later. Perhaps his pool as well. So we'll see if Leenock can take advantage of this. But you know, it's not too early of a pool from Leenock, so mividaLoca can definitely get away with this.
Yeah, and the thing is, the opening Leenock's doing is he's obviously not going to have a hatch down, but he is getting gas. His pool is going to be much quicker
Yep.
than the blue Zerg, and you know the pool is just going to go down right now. So that's a very quick pool for Leenock compared to what mividaLoca is doing. So he's going to have Lings on the map, probably going to go for a similar build as he did to the previous games.
Yeah.
And the question here is he going to be aggressive with it? Is he going to expand? You know, these are kind of like his own options that he can choose. But knowing Leenock's style, I would assume he's going to be a little bit aggressive and try to punish this expansion from mividaLoca.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And on this map, it could be a little bit more difficult considering there is a ramp leading up to your natural expansion. So, like, if the Blizzard player, Loca, or mividaLoca, can extend his creep out to the top of that ramp, then get a spine color at the top there, that'll do a lot for you, especially compared to the maps we've just had where there's a lot of flat space. Like Daybreak, there's a lot of flat space in front of your natural expansion, so you can't really take advantage of any sort of high ground area you would have. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Leenock making a bunch of links here, marching across the map with them. A spine crawler going down for mividaLoca. And speed is halfway done for Leenock, and speed from his opponent, non-existent. He's not going for a gas, just going to be relying on queens and
Wow.
slowlings and spine crawlers for defense. And this is it's gonna be dangerous, but we'll see if he can. We'll see if we can do it.
Yeah, that's an interesting decision not to grab gas right after expansion and getting your pull. He's going to rely, as you said, very heavily on Queen's going to start producing drones in the production tab right now.
Hmm.
He's going to try to save up that spine crawler, doesn't want to get that killed. Leenock trying to focus it down, moving around, but not really going to be able to get the best angle. And Leenock is sort of in this position where his expansion is almost completed. He really wants to put on aggression onto his opponent. Really make him force units rather than drones, because right now there is an advantage for mividaLoca. 21 drones to 19 drones of Leenock. And overall, I would say now they're pretty even. Very similar harvester counts now, very similar units. Exactly, actually, if you just look at the production tab, there is a Baneling nest on the way for Leenock. So he's definitely looking to be a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah, and I mean, it's interesting because Leenock, he doesn't necessarily know that his opponent is going for this gasless style, but he can recognize that fact. If he just looks at the links, sees that they don't have those shiny white wings that Leenock does have, he can know, okay, he's not going speed, he probably doesn't have any gases. Or he can be like, all right, he has a lot of drones as a natural expansion, he has 2 spines, what's going on here? So we'll have to see if Leenock can take advantage of the fact that he's going to have banelings and speedlings and his opponent isn't. And just because you have that, though, doesn't mean you're guaranteed to do damage. So I'm interested to see how mividaLoca handles this, how he positions his queens, how he controls his lings, because that's going to tell the story of this game.
And look at the natural of mividaLoca. He's actually going to make additional spine crawlers. He's up to 4 spine crawlers.
Yeah.
He will be up to 4 spine crawlers, uprooting that first one. But Leenock is actually going to move it forward right now with the Banelings. Going to target down some of these Zerglings. Going to go into the mineral line right now. A few drones are going to go down. But Leenock is down in supply. Harvester advantage still in the favor of the blue Zerg. And the Spinecrawler is actually doing a tremendous amount of damage, really focusing down these Banelings. Very nicely done there by Loca. And behind this, what is Leenock going to do? He is finally going to tell himself, you know what, I'm going to pull back, I'm going to make drones myself, and I'm going to try to at least match you economically. And that's absolutely the smart decision that you need to do in this position, as well as getting a layer. So very, very cool move here by Leenock.
Yeah, and I think we're relatively even. If anything, mividaLoca might be a little bit ahead. And it's interesting. Again, you know, Leenock, of course, he's going to recognize, all right, he has a lot of spine crawlers. That's a lot of investment. That's 100 minerals for each spine crawler, and you're losing a drone when you do that. So Leenock has to be like, all right, how far is he ahead of me? I forced a lot of spines out of him. That could be a good thing for me. But all things told and said, they're both 52 supply. They're both getting their lair at the exact same time. Income, I mean, their harvesters are essentially the same, so a very even game entering the mid game, even though they had radically different openings.
And the only variance I see is Loca has 2 evolution chambers. He's going to get double upgrades on the way right now, and the thing is, Leenock only has 1. So, you know, something that Leenock needs to do if he scouts is he's going to need to at least match his opponent on the upgrades.
I think they're both going Muta. Do you think they're both going Muta?
Well, they both got a very quick layer, so I wouldn't be surprised if they threw down a Spire. There is a Spire being thrown down here for Leenock. The Spire is still not yet down here for Loca. But at the same time, looks like Leenock going to send a few links around the map right now, scouting to see if his opponent going to be a little bit greedy, take a quick third. There is a third, actually, just as I say that. Getting thrown down for Loca, and Infestation Pit on the way here for Loca.
Interesting.
What do you think about Infestors against Mutas? Who has the better choice?
It's intriguing because obviously it's going to come down to, I mean, if Leenock makes a bunch of Mutas here and mividaLoca can keep his third up and get an Infestor out and get a couple key fungals, like, Loca's going to be in a great position. Like, going Infestation Pit here, that's almost like the direct counter to what Leenock is doing, right? Because what do you ideally want against Mutas? Like, what do you usually want? Well, most people are going to say, okay, I want Infestors. And he's going to have them. So he's going to have them out. The Pathogen Glands needs to start ASAP. He needs to start that right now because if the... Okay, there it is. Because if the Mutas get there and he doesn't have Infestors out that can do fungals, obviously the Mutas can potentially do a lot of damage. So we'll have to keep an eye on this and see how both these players play this out.
But at the same time, there is a little bit of a counterattack here by Loca, moving into the third of expansion of Leenock. And Loca not going to expand behind this himself. He's actually going to stay on 2 bases. Going to kill the drone. Wow. Leenock very quickly is going to be able to cancel. And at the same time, Leenock going to send more of his units. Lings and Banelings going to be able to take out this relatively easily. And now, man, for the first time in the game, it looks like Leenock is going to have the supply advantage. 86 to 75 Infestation Pit. Actually, Pathogen Glands halfway completed. Macro Hatch on its way here into the main. And Loca reading it, Leenock beautifully, knows that Mutas are going to be on their way. Immediately going to get a few spores into the main, into the third, and now he's going to take a third. So, you know, it's looking pretty good for both players at this point.
Yeah, I mean, no one has really taken a significant advantage. What's going to tell the story here again is how much damage Leenock can do with these Mutas, and if they get caught off guard. Looks a nice transfuse there from that Queen. Wow, these Queens have a lot of energy. So the Investors are out. Leenock sees that. Oh wow, he actually takes one out. That's actually pretty huge. So yeah, Leenock knows about these Infestors. That's huge. So now he just needs to split up his Mutas, and whenever he decides to engage, just don't get all of them fungled, and he should be fine. Getting a third behind this, but Loca's third is already almost done, so that's a good thing for him. And we'll have to see how this plays out. A lot of drones in production there for Loca. He's going to pretty much surge ahead in that regard. But here come the Mutas from Leenock, and we'll have to see how much damage they can do.
Yeah, man, the Mutas are going to make their way here to the right side of the map and try to go into the third here of Loca. Not really much to kill. Maybe going to kill a few drones, but the spores are going to get uprooted here, and the Mutas are going to be sort of denied here by Loca. But the thing that Leenock is doing that's so impressive right now, he's getting a Roach Warren, he's getting an Infestation Pit, so if anything bad happens, he can always transition into Roaches as well as Infestors, given the fact that he has both tech choices as to his, what am I trying to say? He's going to have both tech choices whenever he wants to choose whichever one he wants to do. So it's interesting that he's not going to continue making Mutas, and this is a really smart smart idea and smart decision here from Leenock. He's ahead in supply again, 102 to 96, getting a few spines at the third. You don't want to be losing that third yet again. And overall, I would say Leenock playing this a little bit more smart than his opponent.
Yeah, I mean, don't lose that Queen. That's oh wow, loses the Queen. Nice run by there from mividaLoca. And you know, when you go Mutas in ZVZ, like one of your main goals is to deny the third from going down while you get your third up. And Leenock went over to the third, and mividaLoca had like perfect defense there. Leenock wasn't able to get anything done. So that goal from Leenock was quite frankly denied. He wasn't able to do that. So he is still ahead in supply, 120 to 104. Let's look at that income, or let's look at the production tab. Infestors on the way, Roaches on the way. And we got nothing but Lings from mividaLoca here. So he's going to be going for a Ling Infestor style, and that relies a lot on counterattacking, on flanking, and Leenock's going to have Infestors out. So and Fungal Growth is really darn good against Zerglings. So I'm really intrigued by this decision to go for this massling approach from mividaLoca, and we'll have to see how it plays out. Also getting Adrenal Glands. How often do you see that in ZVZ?
Oh yeah, I mean the Ling Infestor composition is good, but the thing is what Leenock's going to have, he's going to have Lings, Infestors, and Roaches, and I don't think Infestor Ling's going to be able to cut it against that composition that Leenock's going to be going for, but at the same time he's trying to make these mutas as effective as possible, moving around the map, trying to scout around any kind of Lings, any kind of Overlords to pick off, get your opponent's supply block, which is extremely annoying when playing ZVZ against mutas, and behind this, Loca is going to get a Ultra's Cavern, and there's actually a little bit of engagement here at the natural here of Leenock. Lings are going to get forwarded back, and 151 supply to 119, and Leenock is is quickly surging ahead against his opponent now.
Yeah, man. These Lings are like doing absolutely nothing, and of course, if this hatch goes down, it'll make me look really silly. No, it won't go down. But yeah, like the Lings, they're just getting dealt with easily. Like as I said, the Fungal Growth just fungal them, and they can't do anything. And mividaLoca is investing a lot of larva, a lot of minerals into those Lings and not doing much damage. And when you do that in StarCraft 2, that's not good at all. However, is he going to take down this hatchery at the fourth of Leenock? It's getting dangerously close down to 150, and it will stay alive. Leenock needs to get a queen over there to transfuse that immediately. And Leenock counterattacking with some Roaches here, trying to take down some Infestors. Not a bad decision at all, but 5 Ultralisks are in production from Leenock. We'll have to see if, or from Loca, I should say. We'll have to see if Leenock can be adequately prepared for this.
And that's a beautiful save on that hatchery there at the third of Leenock. At the same time, man, these infested Terrans from Loca are going to be able to make the job done, going to hold off this attack, but the thing is these mutas are going to be uncontested, making their way yet again into the third expansion here. Ultras are on the map, and Ultras are pretty good in ZVZ when you get critical number. They're actually pretty good when they're low in numbers as well.
Yeah.
Behind this, Lings, Infestors, more Queens in production, a lot of upgrades on the way right now for Loca. And what composition is Leenock going to go for? 27 Hydras. What do you think about Hydras against Ultras in ZVZ?
I mean, honestly, Loca can't be aggressive with these Ultras, can he? I mean, Ultras can't shoot up, and there's, what is that, 14 mutas there? So if he decides to go across the map, like, mutas will be tagging along, pecking them down, and their existence, it's going to be good, but it's not going to last forever, So we'll have to see how Leenock deals with this. Muta is actually denying the fourth over there before coming back to try to deal with these Ultras and Hydras. I do like that decision against Ultras. Going to take down that fourth, and look at the DPS of those Hydras. When you have 27 of those, that's a lot. I don't care how many Ultras you have, but of course you have to spread out your Hydras. That's very important. Increase their DPS and whatnot. And of course the Muta's coming forward, and the Ultras are running away from those because, again, you don't want to leave your Ultras in the field when their Muta's there. But if Loca can get a Fungal Growth, no, okay. Leenock's going to back away. But yeah, both these players getting their fourth denied. But look at that, Leenock at 198 supply, his opponent at 159. Remember, there's a lot of wasted supply of Lings that didn't end up doing any damage. And Leenock has been slowly building up his Roach, Hydra, Infestor composition and retaining map control.